Welcome to Sport Beach 2025. We are here live from the 71st Cannes Lions Advertising Festival.
Woo-hoo!
And I am so excited to be joined today by Christine Guilfoyle, the president of SeeHer.
Our third Sport Beach together. How exciting. Thank you so much, Robyn.
Christine, for the audience who may not be familiar with SeeHer, can you tell us a little bit about the organization?
It would be my pleasure. So SeeHer is a division of the Association of National Advertisers, and we are here to draw attention to and advocate for the marketer. And SeeHer specifically is focused on the accurate and authentic representation of women and girls, all characters in content. And as a result of that, we know that when you get characters right, it drives brand health metrics and increases your sales.
You know, we were saying it was our third year at Sport Beach doing this together, and we were talking a little bit before we started filming about how much just even our partnership has grown. Stagwell's now on our third year of a membership, and 2 years ago we had a panel and a breakfast, and we had about 40 people attend. Last year we did a breakfast when it started pouring rain in the south of France, but we still had almost 60 people attend and sit through the rain. And this year we're hosting a roundtable where we have about 28, C-level executives, as well as a happy hour where we have over 100 people coming. Can you talk to us a little bit about the progress that the industry has made?
Yeah, and listen, the momentum is undeniable. Women in sports, women's sports fandom, Sport Beach, right? All of the momentum is catapulted by the marketer, by their commitment. And as Mark Wright of AT&T says, the math now works, right? Many of the leading marketers have leaned into sports, of course, and women of sports for some time. But now, exponentially, right? The merch, the attendance, the ticket sales, the fandom. There is no metric of measurement that doesn't continue to catapult year over year. And frankly, it's a fantastic and still incredibly affordable way for brands to lean in and tap into the expertise of an agency like Stagwell, which has basically taken Sport Beach on the road to be a partner, a trusted partner in everything to do with your sports marketing partnership enterprise. So kudos and congratulations.
Thank you. You know, can you talk a little bit about the business growth that is associated with such an important initiative?
Yeah, I mean, listen, all of us are in business, right? We have people that we are accountable for, and growth. As I say often, you hear me say this, Robyn, like raise your hand if your CFO told you you had to sell less this year. No one would reveal that, right? None of us are ever in a position to do less. So what does women's sports and sports in general as it relates to women fans allow a marketer to do? First and foremost, it is absolutely an unbelievably brand safe environment, right? It's must see live programming. And if you are a marketer, brand safe and must see, like right there, it is absolutely non-questionable, I think, as you allocate your media, your partnership and sponsorship dollars. And we are just seeing through, obviously, the NCAA tournament, what the WNBA is doing, volleyball, the softball World Series. I mean, in each of these instances, there are more fans than the male counterpart, right? So tapping into that fandom and personalizing it for women's sports is a huge opportunity. So team, league, venue, athlete, NIL, elite, like there's so many opportunities. Hire a trusted advisor who can help you to allocate your money. No one is walking away Like you don't see, I targeted women's sports for the last 2 years and I don't have a
didn't
return.
work. It didn't work.
There's no return on my investment, right? Like think about what the WNBA has been able to do. Every single one of those brands, cha-ching, huge return on investment. And each of these new sports, which media companies have gone out of their way. The distribution of women's sports in 2021 was 4%. It is now 20%. So I applaud the media companies. We all know who they are, right? Who have doubled down and increased the distribution and the access, right? Not only for consumers to watch, but for marketers to align with. Like, bravo, that's progress.
You know, you talked a little bit about the leagues, but are there any specific brand examples that have, business metrics that would be great for our audience to hear and learn from?
Well, I mentioned AT&T, whether it's AT&T and what they've done through their She's Connected program, right, where ultimately they have aligned themselves with depth and breadth of women athletes and then provided them services, right? Again, we all know that women athletes make less. So if brands are able to step in and fill gaps, like providing them not only services to be connected, but also mentorship, that is a wonderful opportunity for those women. We see what State Farm has done, right? I mean, a first mover, right? I think that kudos to them to be able to step in with Caitlin so early in the fray. I think there probably were other brands who were like, should we or shouldn't we? But they were bold. I look at Gail Harwood at Novartis, right? Her Super Bowl spot to draw attention to breast cancer and leaning into a counter stereotype, people staring at people's breasts, right? and turning that good around, a counter stereotype around for breast cancer detection, using Dawn Staley, in that unbelievable moment. Like those are just some, a tip of the iceberg of great work and all very different.
All very different. And I can't help but think of the work that 72 and Sunny did with the NFL and Diana Flores.
Well, listen, shout out to the creative genius of 72 and Sunny, Damian Journey, who's near and dear to the SeeHer family, but also Tim Ellis and the great work that the NFL has done in inclusion. They have leaned in very specifically around women's flag football 3 years ago when Diana Flores, captain of the Mexican flag football team and star of the Super Bowl spot that aired right before the Rihanna concert. Yes, we watch every commercial in the Super Bowl at SeeHer. Then following it up this year with wonderful work, again, leaning into these 80s stereotypes and showing that girls are strong and fast and smart and can win. Right? I mean, again, why do we have to keep telling this story? But brilliantly told. And it's an insight, right? The 72 and Sunny team taps into that insight, applies it to the creative, so great at it. And I believe the other spot that 72 and Sunny did this year for the Super Bowl won an Emmy. Right? So they continue to drive world-class work. So proud of them.
So we started our conversation off talking a little bit about our year one together in Cannes and Sport Beach. Fast forward to next year. What is the future? Talk about it. For both SeeHer and where you think sport.
We can't have the momentum stop, right? I think that our industry is fickle and can get distracted, right? So it's like, I did that women's sports thing last year. This year I'm going to lean into AI, right? I'm sure we're all hearing about the AI. There's so much more opportunity. Or later today, we're going to talk to the marketers. What do you need next? How do we keep this momentum going? What do we prioritize? And again, as the spenders, the marketers have an opportunity to set the agenda, so that all of the rest of us can lean into that great work to propel the momentum. That's what I'm hoping that we get accomplished today. And then we'll be wherever Sport Beach is, and you all are everywhere.
I know. So we were also talking a little bit earlier. So Sport Beach is not only at the, Cannes Lion Festival of Creativity, but this last year we were at CES. We showed up in Davos. We were at South by Southwest.
Super Week,
and Super Bowl. And there's going to be many more to come. So it's a growing platform.
And the line is just amazing to get in here. So I just want to say thank you so very much for your dedication personally, as well as to Stagwell, Mark Penn, Ryan Linder, for all of your hard work in drawing attention to sports is a cultural zeitgeist. And women in sports, specifically brands, lean in if you haven't yet.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And yes, remember, people watch women's sport.
Correct.